Last week I spoke to South Africa's former president, F W De Klerk, the man who freed Nelson Mandela and helped to end apartheid. Before you actually made the historic speech and so on, in which you announced that Nelson Mandela was to be released, had you met him before that or only afterwards?
I met him only once before that. He was brought to my office, which later became his office, in December '89. I already then, and my cabinet, have already decided, in principle, he must be released. We didn't discuss it with him that evening. We had a one-on-one between him and me. We avoided to discuss issues, current issues, and we just sized each other up. It was just to get a feel. And both of us later wrote in our respective autobiographies. We could report back to our constituencies, I think I can do business with that man. If I'm asked today, would you take all the decisions you took again? I would say all the major decisions, yes. The major decisions of unbanning the organizations, of releasing not only Mr. Mandela, but all political prisoners. Holding a referendum when the whites accuse me you no longer have a mandate, and calling them and say, you must now say yes or no, must I go ahead? And then 70% said yes. Of accepting the transitional constitution and later the final constitution, notwithstanding certain shortcomings from my viewpoint. I would do it all over again with now knowing what has happened since then. Then we agreed on a law, an establishing law for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And he did very good work in the field of amnesty and in the field of getting part of the truth fully on the table. It failed, however, to be really fair-handed. And in the eyes of many South Africans, in the end, its reports tend to be interpreted as prejudiced, only focusing on the wrongs committed by and the transgressions of human rights committed by the security forces. And it did not deal sufficiently and did not get to the root of the problem of black-on-black violence, on the hundreds of people who died in clashes between the ANC people and the Inkatha freedom people. So somehow or another, unfortunately, we have not succeeded fully in getting a full agreement on the past. But we've learned also a lesson. It's more difficult to agree on the past than it is to agree on the future.